Holy cow, was February not the fastest month ever in the history of Februaries? This is my 2019 No Buy recap for the month of February. Welcome back, I'm Shannon and this is the Wonderluster, and if you notice anything about my voice, if you've seen any of my other videos, you may hear that I'm a little bit congested. I either have allergies or a cold. I just got back from New Orleans for Mardi Gras, and Mardi Gras is a season, not just Fat Tuesday, so we always go for like one of the last weekends in January or one of the first 2 weekends in February, and apparently I caught some bug that was slow forming, and now that I'm recording my video for this short month of February, I'm getting over it. I feel congested, my voice feels a little gravelly, but I'm doing just fine. I feel otherwise pretty good, but that's the casual, very casual Hermione hair look I have going on today, because I wanted to crank this video out because February went by super fast, and for a month 2 of my no buy shopping ban year, it went pretty well, and I think probably because I was just so darn busy. If you haven't seen my channel before, I am doing a shopping ban for the entirety of 2019, which means that I cannot buy anything that is not essential to my survival, replacing something that's broken, or usually charitable contributions or gifts for other people in my life, because I'm not a Scrooge and I like to celebrate other people around me. Those are my rules. If you haven't seen my no buy introduction video, I will link to that below and have a card above so you can see some of the rules and parameters of how I went about a no buy year for 2019. I also did a recap for January where I talked about some of my learnings, some of my temptations that I had of things that I did not buy, and then I do share at the end of typical recap videos what I did end up spending money on, and I will just go ahead and YouTube fashion hint that I spent a lot of money this month, a brick ton of money. Granted, it was all within the rules that I set out for myself, but for a no buy year, I spent a lot of money in February, and I will get into that in a minute, but like, whew. This month went so fast. I went to New Orleans with some friends and had an amazing time. Oh my gosh. Luckily, food and alcohol is within the parameters of my no buy year, because that is all I bought, was just food, alcohol, fun. I had more grasshoppers, which are one of my favorite drinks, than I care to admit. I had amazing oysters, a crawfish boil. I ate my way throughout the city. I had a great time with my friends from Chicago, and it was like so soul-stirring and good. But of course, I also realized that I just can't party like I used to. Your girl was a grandma and was asleep by like 10:30, making sure I had enough water, pacing myself, all those fun things. My friend Robin, who lives in Baton Rouge, also came down for one of the nights so we could go to some of the parades together and catch some beads. I will say I'm a little bit disappointed, guys. I did not catch as many beads as I wanted. This was not a good pull year for me. I usually do the Cru de View and the Cru de Illusion, and those are my favorite parades. I see them. This is the 3rd year I've gone there, and I usually get like a koozie and a bottle of moonshine, and like I usually get some pretty good throws. This year I didn't get anything. I was just having so much fun and enjoying it, and just kind of crashed the parade route as it came and not being super strategic. But I'll show some panovers of all the beads I've collected in years past. But contrary to popular belief, I'm a big New Orleans and a big Mardi Gras fan in general. You are not supposed to flash to get these beads. You're just supposed to line up at the parade route and get the parade thrower's attention, you know, with a cool costume or just a smile or whatever, and that's how you get your beads. So when I give you the pan over of all the beads that I decorate my house with, that's how I also stayed busy this month, is just I always decorate for Mardi Gras at my house here in Texas. I did not, just want to be clear, because like, I had a friend over the other day and he's like, did you earn these? And I'm like, I wish I could say I did, but I don't think any of the assets would procure the sheer amount of beads I've accumulated over the years. But I went to New Orleans again this year. I absolutely love the city, and you know, I was tempted. I went to my favorite store in New Orleans in February, which is Fleurty Girl, and they have the cutest things. If you go to New Orleans any time of year, there is one location on Magazine Street in the Garden District, and then there's also a location in the French Quarter. If you are spending money or you need really cool, unique local gifts that are kind of not like your cheesy like t-shirt shop kind of thing, or like shot glasses and that typical fare, go to Fleurty Girl, make it, and I think there's another place called like Forever New Orleans, I wanna say, which is also in the French Quarter. Go there and do your shopping. When I get into my temptation section, you will see some of the items that are from Fleurty Girl in that section because they always have the best merchandise ever. I was super, super tempted, but I will say I was spending so much money on food and drink that I was like, I don't need to buy anything right now, but I will still share with you a little bit later what tempted me to shop. So that all being said, I feel like there wasn't a whole lot of learnings for February. I was just so darn busy with work projects, cleaning out the office for Airbnb to rent that out, which I will get into later, traveling, taking care of my dog. Oh, I also forgot to mention, I'm having work done on the house and that cost me over $6,000. Lord have mercy. I have to have a water softener put in because I have incredibly hard water that's so hard here that it's actually clogging my fixtures, which isn't great. I also needed some roofing work done because even though this house was supposed to be move-in ready, there are problems that I am now paying for. I had insulation put in and my contractor friend fixed my tub. I've had a lot of things break prematurely, whatever, moving on with my life. Luckily, I saved enough money last year with my freelancing and just being mindful of my spending that I had enough money in the bank to cover all of these expenses so I could pay him to do the work to fix my house. So that was a little bit stressful for February. I would have to say February was a mix of like pleasure and pain in New Orleans with some of my favorite people, eating and drinking my way around the city, and also cutting checks for like stupid things like insulations and water softeners. You know, life is about balance. So it's fine, but it was the like literal fastest month ever. All right, so for this February recap, we're gonna go ahead and talk about some of my temptations of the things that I have identified as non-essential, meaning I can buy makeup in the course of my no-buy year, but I can only do that as a replacement. Like if I use up my last mascara, I can replace my mascara. If I use up my last foundation, I can replace that, clearly. But there are plenty of superfluous purchases that do not make the cut that I document throughout the month and share the total value of what those purchases would have cost me. And at the end of the month, I've decided that money of that total that I've added up will go into an investment, whether that's my 401k with work, or I also use Betterment to invest there. I'll get into that probably in another video on how I invest, but I am taking this money aside and putting it towards my future, which is really exciting because that's the only way I can make not buying all the lip glosses I want make sense right now. So that's where we're at. Let's get into what tempted me for February. So if you watched my January video, you knew I was tempted by the RBG lip color. Well, I found another company called Nasty Woman Lip Colors that I really liked. I just really wanted some new colors. I seem to have a lot of reds and a lot of pinks, but I really wanted like a berry or like a purple or like a deep plum. And of course, like on Instagram, month 2 of me noticing that Instagram is a huge trigger, I noticed Nasty Woman Cosmetics and they had some matte lip colors and glosses that were about $17.99 in some beautiful shades. And of course, I wanted them. I really want like a deep plum or something kind of out of the palette I typically use, but I have plenty of deep reds and other lipstick colors that I can layer and play on with to try and get those shades. But I couldn't justify it this month, but I saw it in my feed and was like, I want a new color. Previous me would have just bought it, but now I just document it on Instagram and YouTube and share with you all the things I don't buy. Okay, this next one's a little bit weird and that's why I love it. I love the YouTuber Amelia Fart. She is from Canada and she is a gem. Her videos are so off the wall and they're so weird, but they have these moments of like clarity and vulnerability and goodness and eloquence. I love Amelia Fart so much. She is so unapologetically her. I'm still parsing out whether this is just a character or really her. I don't actually know and I don't really care that much. Amelia Fart has a new line of merchandise that's come out. I will link to her below because you need to see her videos. I'll link to one of my favorite videos below. But she has this Amelia Fart face pillow. I want it so bad. It's $28 for the square pillow, which would also require me to buy a square filler pillow for it at like Walmart or Target, which would be about $6. So the Amelia Fart pillowcase is $28 and it's just her face. And then I would need to get a filler for the pillowcase and that would run me about $6. And I saw this on her page and really wanted it. So there you have it. The next one, typical. I feel like I'm triggered by like lip gloss, and the next thing is candles. Bijou, if I'm saying that right, Candles came out with a trifecta set of Willow, Sabrina, and Hermione candles. And yeah, I always joke about like my witch hair, but I was like, oh my God, I need these candles in my life. They run a total of $59. And I was like, yeah, like it's so funny. Like there's certain things I won't spend money on and there are things I will. And these amazing witchy candles, I totally would have dropped 59 bucks for. And they also had a 20% off sale. So I was like shaking my fist at the Facebook gods when this ad kept being delivered to me time and time again. And I was like, I would do anything for these stupid candles, but $59, didn't spend it this month. I just have to give them a shout out because they nailed their market. I was like, yeah, I want witchy candles. Hermione is like my favorite. So did not buy them, but I'll be putting that $59 towards investments and putting this wonderful candle set on my wish list. This next one was super random, and thanks Etsy for retargeting the crap out of me in the month of February. I saw these pink glitter tumblers that one of these Etsy sellers does, where she covers a Yeti tumbler in like pink glitter. This one that I saw ran at $49.95. I don't actually need a tumbler, but you can see the photo. I really wanted this tumbler because it was pink and sparkly and really chunky and really thick, and here in Texas, everybody and their mom has like Yeti tumblers or Yeti style tumblers, so you bet your butt I really wanted one, but I have like 3 or 4 that I use for my coffee already, like different types of travel mugs, so I really don't have any way to justify this purchase. The next one is from one of my other fellow YouTubers, Cassie Ho of Pop Pilates. She has a really cool planner that's very fitness oriented, it's beautifully designed. And she sent out an email this month where if you get the planner, you get a water bottle for free. I was given a planner by a really good friend of mine this year, but it honestly, like, I don't like the flow of it. It's a pink planner where it's all the months are at once and then the weeks are separate. And I like to have like month and then the weeks and then another month and then weeks. I'm so used to that. I used to have Erin Condren planners and that's what I'm used to. So I'm not in love with this planner, but I would have spent otherwise. I would have spent $27 on this planner, and I was like, I really want it, can't justify it. I could have justified it as a business expense because I do use it for this YouTube channel, I use it for my job and things like that, but I was like, I already have a planner. Is it perfect? No. Do I appreciate the sentiment of the gift? Yes. Am I going to keep it? Of course. So I just saved 27 bucks, but I was super tempted. This next one falls into the stupid category of like, thanks Bath & Body Works, you have me pegged. These 2 adorable hand sanitizer holders. One was a unicorn and I just love the little eyelashes on it. The other one was a pug unicorn, which is very cruel and unusual that they would serve me this ad because I would have bought it. Any other day I would have bought both of them. One was, I believe, $5.75 and the other one was $7.75, and those suckers would have gone in my cart without a second thought if it was not a shopping ban year. I'm being totes serious right now. So I saved a couple bucks and didn't buy them, but dude, it was like these products were made for me and I need to get off Instagram. That's it. All right, so now we're getting into the New Orleans, Louisiana category of things I saw while I was out shopping and not necessarily scrolling on Instagram. I mentioned Fleurty Girl earlier, and I have to say they are on point with their merchandising. Whoever does that shop or the many wonderful, beautiful people they have doing it has their segment pegged because their shop is full of goodies. The first thing I saw was champagne straws. These are really long straws that you put in a champagne bottle, which like, that speaks to the lazy, basic person in me, and also like, yeah, I'm a badass, I drink direct from the bottle. I don't know why, but I really wanted these straws. They were $9.95, and I believe they are available online if I need to buy them later, but I'll be back in New Orleans later next year, so maybe if they're still there, I will buy them, but yeah, champagne straws, it's a thing. The next thing I saw was a really super cute backpack. I've actually seen this one at a different boutique here in Texas. It is like rainbowy, good, it has pom-poms, it was beautiful, I really wanted it, and when I saw it here in Texas, I wanted it then too. I think I saw it like in December and was like, I'm not gonna buy it, it's fine, and then I saw it again and I'm like, why must you haunt me? This one, I believe, was $59.90, or I'm sorry, it was a metallic backpack, $49.95, and I would have bought that sucker in a heartbeat. I already have backpacks. I typically use small crossbody bags. It's not a deal, but it was just so it's just so beautiful that I would have like put it on my wall. It's that level of like love. Every time I see it, I just fall in love with it all over again. Of course, I also saw some gorgeous prayer candles while I was at Fleurty Girl in New Orleans, and they had an Anthony Bourdain candle, a Mr. Rogers candle, and a Dolly Parton candle. Now I have prayer candles, and I have one behind me with the Virgin Mary on it. Also, I have more prayer candles on my what is that? Fireplace mantle. I have those as well. Some of them have angels on them, some of them are plain, but I do love prayer candles. I light them mindfully, and of course, in the spirit of the cheekiness that these are, Anthony Bourdain, rest his soul, Dolly Parton, Mr. Rogers, rest his soul as well. Just like goodness. These candles were $16.95 a pop, and I think I would have, because I had champagne at that point, I probably would have just got these suckers had it not been a shopping ban. But I will use my wonderful prayer candles that I already have that run me. These are not $16.95. I get these at my grocery store for about $1, and so I will just say my prayers there. You know, it's okay. The final thing in my temptations list was this Rosé All Day sweater by Betsy Johnson. It was served to me in a Zulily retargeting ad. Those guys are really smart. I've had a Zulily credit in the past, and I totally could have used this, but man, this is my style. Number one, rosé, yes please. Number two, just that casual chic. I wouldn't even say it's chic, it's just casual. That's my vibe. And I really wanted this one. This one ran $24.99, I wanna say, $24.95, $24 something. And I will have that below clearly. And I really loved it. So that was a temptation of just like, ooh, I could have got it and got like free shipping, but not today, Satan, not today. All right, so all those temptations ran me $337.18. $337, which is even more than January, which is really interesting because I totally thought that I had less on my list over the course of a very short month. I was like, oh yeah, I wasn't tempted as often this month, but clearly what I was tempted by was more expensive. Now, if I had calculated extra for this doesn't even include shipping or taxes on this. So this month, for the month of February, instead of spending that 337 glorious pieces of my paycheck, I'm actually going to be investing $350 into my retirement plan instead. Pretty exciting. So I was lazy this month and didn't even tally up like how much, guesstimating how much tax and shipping would have been. I know it would be way over $350, but since I also had $6,000 in house repair bills and a veterinary bill this month, I'm gonna cut myself a little slack, and $350 is going in the piggy bank for my future. Not too shabby. All right, so getting into notable purchases, because I had some real doozies this month, real doozies. If you remember some of my other videos when I talk about my path to minimalism, you may know that I have a 3-bedroom home. One was already ready for Airbnb, one I currently reside in and record these videos in, and the third one was actually full of crap. Just full of crap, that was it. There was nothing compelling about it. It was supposed to be an office where I would record these videos, but it was so disorganized and unintentional and full of stuff that I didn't actually use it. And then after my boyfriend and I broke up September of last year and he moved out, I realized that that room was going to cost me money. And since my mortgage is pretty substantial, it's $1,800 a month plus utilities because I took a 20-year mortgage versus a 30-year mortgage. I realized that I was literally leaving money on the table. I don't need that room. It was just superfluous. It wasn't serving me. It was full of stuff. It stressed me out when I went in there. And I was like, why wouldn't I want another awesome roommate? So I made the decision to clean it out, and I listed it as an empty room on Craigslist for several months last year. I also went on roomiematch.com and roomies.com, a couple different ones, and I went in Facebook groups to advertise this empty room to try and find a San Antonio local to move in permanently for a year, 6 months or a year at a time. Unfortunately, I had a lot of bites, but many people flaked on me, and it got to the point where when the room was officially ready in January, February, I was like, I need to make a decision about this room. Clearly, nobody wants to move stuff in, and I made the call that I was just going to break my shopping ban for the purpose of my business, which is renting it out, and go to Target and Walmart and Amazon and furnish the room. So, some of the rules of my shopping ban included that for my business or for the house improvement, not home decor really, but for the purpose of making me money, whether that's side hustle or improving my career, I will justify those purchases. So I did go to Walmart, Amazon, and Target, and I bought bedding. I bought a very basic bed. I bought some things like that. And that pretty much ate up the income that I would have made from that room. But next month, I will be able to be in the positive about that. And I have to say, going to Target usually makes me very happy, but I was so stressed about the shopping ban that even though I wasn't buying things for me, I was just like, okay, this is for a business. My Airbnb is a business. I can justify this. It will bring me money. It will bring me joy. It will be nice to have a third person here. Cool, cool, cool. But also, I was stressed and didn't enjoy the process of buying bedding. I'll show a pan over of the room. I'm very, very proud of this. This was a work in progress. I had so much effort and cleaning to get this room ready and get it furnished and get it perfect for my first guest. But of course, I stressed about it quite a bit. But I'm gonna show that footage of me just showing the room that, you know, it used to be full of junk, floor to ceiling, and not useful and not helpful. And now it has a wonderful new renter with me, so I'm pretty stoked about that progress. And, you know, is it decorated the way I would love it, you know, with character and more of the vibe of the rest of the house? You know, I did borrow some pieces, art pieces from other rooms to cut costs, but, you know, it's a work in progress. And so, you know, I'm proud of what I was able to do, but it did set me back a pretty penny. So in total, I pulled in about it was about $700 for that room for the month. At Walmart, I spent $64.74, and I got some pillows, some hangers, and a lamp. From Target, I spent $113.49, and that included the bedding, like the sheets, the bed in a bag set. I got a duvet cover, and then I got like one of those cube organizers and a couple other like things to make the room look comfortable. On Amazon, that's where I got the bed frame, the box spring, the mattress, and the waterproof or like water resistant mattress liner, just to make sure that it keeps everything nice and clean. In total, I spent $570.63 on everything to get the room ready. And of course, like I've gone into, I had some heartburn about that money, especially with some of the house repairs I was paying for, but it's sometimes you have to spend money to make money. And I got, you know, just enough to make my guest, I hope she feels welcome and honored and that I'm excited she's here, but I didn't go like crazy. And, you know, I even pulled some of the furniture from this room and some of the art from this room just to make it feel more homey for her. So I hope I was successful in that, and I hope she's enjoying her stay. Okay, so the next notable purchase for January actually makes me very, very sad, and I really don't want to share it with you, but I'm going to do it because I'm an honest person most of the time. I had to buy a new iPhone this month. I have had my iPhone 6 since 2015. And I took good care of it. And I went through Apple Care. I did everything I was supposed to do to make sure that my phone would get me through the year. And for whatever reason, right before I went to New Orleans, even though the screen is not cracked, the keyboard would go out. So I would be typing, I would be like texting, and then all of a sudden the keys would stop working and the app would freeze. And this would happen like probably every other sentence. So I worked with Apple support, and I did a factory restore, I did a backup, I did everything, I did all the upgrades, I tried everything that I could on my end to make it work, and it didn't. The apps were also incredibly slow, they were crashing. My Arlo, I have security cameras here in the backyard just for safety. The Arlo app just stopped working because the phone was so sluggish. So I could look at my video instantly from my computer, but I would go on my phone and it would crash. Instagram was just crashing all the time. If you don't know what I do for a living, I'm actually in social media marketing, so it's kind of imperative that I have a functional phone because I answer emails on my phone, I take photos for Instagram on my phone, I upload Facebook Lives from my phone for my job, and I had to justify this purchase because it was getting to the point with other folks that they were doing my job for me because my phone wasn't functioning, and that is not good. So in total, I spent, and this pains me, $698.83. I got an iPhone 10X, 10R, whatever it is. See, I don't even care about phones. And then I got a very basic case that was about 35 bucks, a screen protector, and then a splitter for the bottom, and that cost me $698.83. And I figured I would just get the $35 case that I knew would work and would protect my phone, and that's how I justified that purchase. But honestly, that also caused me a lot of stress. So yeah, I spent some money, but I wasn't happy about it. Alright guys, my battery just died and I think that is the signal that this video should be over. That is February in a nutshell. I want to thank everybody who's commented along the way from January to now. Some of you have shared that you are also doing a shopping ban like this, whether it's a month, a year, or just some different amount of time. It is so exciting to hear other people who are exploring what they bring into their lives and thinking critically about their behaviors, because I know it's not easy, but you are still doing it. And I just really love all the support that y'all have given. Every comment just keeps me going. It makes me so happy. And I feel so grateful for the community that we're building here of other people who are changing their lives one purchase or non-purchase at a time. So that all being said, thank you for spending your time with me today. And if you would like to see more videos on minimalism, shopping bans, living an optimized life, health, wellness, travel, and all that good stuff to live a more sparked and joyful life, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, please, and leave me a comment below to introduce yourself, because I would love to get to know you. Thanks for spending your time with me today, and until next time, guys, stay sparked. I love you, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Whoa. Whoa there, hoser. Okay. Okay there. All right, hoser. Yes.